Yes, the rains are gone, traveling into the mountains, and now we're going to dry out during the night and into the day tomorrow. Your forecast then, as the showers end, it turns windy and cooler overnight, 45 to 50 degrees. Saturday, a mixture of clouds and sunshine, windy, much cooler. We'll stay 45 to 50 all day long. Watch for black ice late tomorrow night where water pools off hills, and we fall to 25 to 30 for morning church services. A cold Sunday and Monday across our area. Daytime highs will struggle in the upper 30s, overnight lows in the 20s. And there are some pretty good signs that Sunday night into Monday morning, there could be a coating of snow and perhaps even some school delays and closings, something Josh will be putting together here as we get into the upcoming weekend. To update then, Jess and Bill, we've got the tornado outbreak of a generation that has wound down, and things will settle down overnight.
All right, Tony, thank you. We will be talking about this for days and weeks to come. We have been on the air live for hours, keeping you up to date on the severe weather, really crisscrossing our region. As Tony just mentioned, it is of historical proportions. But we've also been online, live, updating our web channel and through social media. News Channel 3's Melanie Chapman has been busy on Twitter for hours, keeping us all up to date with all these reports. And Melanie's, I guess you could say, the social media scene really did indeed explode.
That's right, Bill. We want to show you a few pictures we have that we got into our social media sites. One of them is this one of hail. There's several of them. We'll just head on over to Twitter. Freezing up a little, that tends to happen at times. We want to talk about some of the tweets that we got in, literally exploding for a while. We were just getting information from all over the region, retweeting it, sending it out to our crews at the scene. And it's one way that we are working these days, trying to get out information to everyone and keep everyone posted and in the loop. Checking out our Facebook page, we've had a lot of people signing on to leave us messages about how they're doing, where their loved ones are, how they've been following our coverage all evening. Want to mention we picked up 2,200 new Facebook fans tonight, had hundreds of comments shared, hundreds of stories shared with other folks. And if you want to follow us, you can head over to WSAZ.com. There's a Twitter page with all of our Twitter handles. You can follow news feeds, sports feeds, all of that, or you can check out the individual links for all of us. Something that we are keeping up with, Bill, and you can follow us with the hashtag WSAZ and keep up with all of our tweets.
All right, Melanie, thank you very much again. Unbelievable the amount of social media that's really helped us put the story and tell the story through the 6 hours of television that we provided with you this evening. The people coming in left and right. Melanie was in the newsroom every 30 seconds saying, you know what, something else is coming in. Just look at some amazing pictures out of West Liberty, Kentucky that we can pass along to show you as well because of our e-reporters. We've got images. Look at that. Look at that thing on the horizon. This image just says so much. The view of the town of West Liberty, you can see ripped to pieces. We have another video to show you, or another e-reporter picture. That is downtown. And imagine this, how horrible this is for people who live there, knowing just 2 days ago, many of them went through the exact same thing. If you'd like to see pictures from our inbox to tell your story, please send them to us at pics@wsaz.com. This is a team effort. We could not do it without you this evening. We'll be right back.
And I'm Keith Morehouse. With storms ravaging the region, there was some basketball to be played. We'll start at the Charleston Civic Center, where the University of Charleston hoping to win its 14th game in a row, this one over Concord. Evan Faulkner from Elliott County, while storms were hitting his home county, he had his game face on. He had 20 points as UC advances 89-80 to the championship game. We'll have all the scores coming up on our morning wake-up call, and also check in with WSAZ.com for all the latest.
Yep. At this hour, we are now dealing with and realizing the aftermath of a powerful storm that hit home for us in West Virginia, Ohio, and Kentucky tonight. Tim Ear is in the Bluegrass State, where you know that was the area hardest hit.
Yeah, the stories are coming in from folks who were just passing by here in Martha, Kentucky. Unfortunately, we do have damage in this county, in Lawrence County. We've seen some folks who have been now without power for several hours. It looks like, according to the power crews who talked to us, it looks like it's going to be at least morning until they can even begin to start the process of hooking people back up to electricity. Now, not too far from where we're standing right here is the town of West Liberty, Kentucky. West Liberty, Kentucky. Heard about this on all night long on WSAZ, and if you've been paying attention to anybody, any folks on, maybe your friends on Twitter, maybe you've been getting phone calls from people who live in that area, if they were able to get calls out before the storm came through, they could talk about the worry and the fear of what they were experiencing. Now they can talk about the destruction that's left behind. So much devastation and destruction over the course of 3 days. This all took place starting Wednesday with a big storm that came through there. Now tonight's storm. We have a little bit of a wrap-up tonight from one of our reporters, Bianca Spinoza, who was on the scene in West Liberty, and she has the story from there this evening.
This building behind me is the police department and the fire department from Morgan County. You can see the devastation. Cars have been completely flipped over, including a state trooper's car. Now, many people have been injured here. We still don't have a full tally on the number of people injured. State police tell us this tornado has been deadly. What has happened here tonight is almost unimaginable for people who live in West Liberty, who just survived a tornado only 2 days ago. Tonight, their main street completely demolished. The injured are carried out of buildings on stretchers. Firefighters set up a place to help the wounded and care for them, but it has to be done in the dark, and it's hard to see. And not only is it hard to see, it's hard to communicate. Cell phone lines are down, and so are landlines.
I have no idea who the man was that covered me in the Family Dollar store, but I want to thank him. I really do.
So someone,
yes, a customer. He covered me. Like, I drug him into the bathroom, and he covered my body with his.
And as you can see, first responders, the people who were responding to this, were victims themselves. This car really tells you a lot about what happened here in Morgan County tonight. We're covering the news in Morgan County from the LEX18 mobile newsroom. Back to you guys.
And here in West Virginia, we have been spared really the brunt of the storm, but there are still some problems. There are power outages tonight, and it seems that flash flooding is the real threat now. We have had reports of that throughout the region and the outlying counties around the Kanawha Valley. We can let you know there was an evacuation of a trailer park tonight in Lincoln County. Water has been an issue there as well, something to keep an eye on as we head into the morning. So you make sure you check us out on WSAZ.com for continuous updates as we continue to follow the after effects of this storm. We'll be back right after this.
Well, one last recap of this tornado outbreak of a generation. The threat of high winds and tornadoes has ended across the region. Left behind, high water. I've got a map that shows basically we have a flood warning in effect for a handful of counties in southern West Virginia and eastern Kentucky, including the southern half of Kanawha County. Basically, the rains are moving away. There are still a couple cells out there that can still be a rumble of thunder, but the heavy activity will be moving away. See a pretty good cell that's just north of Charleston up into Roane County on State Route 119. You get the idea. There are showers that are left over. They'll be ending overnight. Temperature settles to 45 to 50 and stays 45 to 50 during the day tomorrow as we dry out. Watch for a little patchy black ice tomorrow night as temperatures fall to 25 to 30. And we have a cold day on Sunday and Monday for that fact. In fact, right now I'm expecting a coating of snow Sunday night and Monday morning, something that Josh Fitzpatrick will update us along with a recap of the great tornado outbreak when he comes on News Channel 3 tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.
You know, it's hard to think about even imagining snow on Monday when we've been through what we've all been through tonight. And something I want to touch on briefly, Tim, is, you know, you talk about some areas really only had rain and thunder tonight. So those people at home are wondering what's all the fuss about, not realizing that in our same viewing area where you're at in Kentucky, lives have literally been destroyed and so many turned upside down.
You know, you're exactly right. And some folks, you know, you look at a picture like you're seeing right now, and you might think if you weren't in an area that saw destruction, as you mentioned, like, what's all the fuss about? Well, you could even think that if you lived in West Liberty, Kentucky. Now, if you were inside and maybe you had earmuffs on and you slept through the storm and your house was spared, you would have no idea. We just talked to a man right here whose house, he stopped by to talk to us, to mention he's from West Liberty. His house has absolutely no damage at all. His neighbors, unfortunately, just down the road, destroyed. Houses wiped right off. There's so much damage all over the county that some folks aren't even going to be able to get out and to look at it until the morning. And that's the way it is really from one county to the next. The way the storm touched down, the way the twister touched down, Jess, it spared so many areas but then caused so much devastation in so many others.
It has been an unbelievable night. We thank you for joining us. Join us in the morning. Thank you.
Good night.